as a professional jazz drummer, what was your first reaction when you saw that film? Because I'm assuming it eventually made its way into your
So
zeitgeist.
crazily enough, they invited me to a screening, a early screening of Whiplash. Like I went to, and this was around the same time my first record came out. It was like 24, somewhere in there. So as they were getting up for the run, the gearing up for the runs, they sent me to a screening. They're like, "Man, we want to go, send you to a screening." I think it was an interview I was doing. They were like, "We want to send you to a screening, talk about it, whatever, whatever." I went to the film, and I could not stand it. I was so bothered by this film because I was like,
Mm,
"What is this? It's so unrealistic." Uh, you know, but it's so funny. So I don't know if you know Robert Glasper did the score for the Miles Davis movie called Miles Ahead, where Don Cheadle
yeah.
plays Miles, and I played on kind of a small piece of the score, but
Oh, wow.
in doing that, like we would have these rehearsals and hangs with Don Cheadle. He was so cool. He would take us out to dinner after rehearsal. I would drop him off at his hotel, like the whole thing. Like we became really cool during this time. But we were talking about this movie at one point, and Don is a serious musician. Like Don can really play and sing. Like people. He was in all state bands growing up. Like Don Cheadle is an amazing musician, let
Mm,
alone the actor he is. Um, but we were talking about this movie, and he was just like, he said he was like, "Man, I loved it," and I was like, "Man, I couldn't stand." We were all the musicians like, "We hated it." Like he was like, "Yeah, because that's because you're looking at it through musicians' eyes, because it's your world." Do you know what I mean? But he's like, "As a movie, like it's so great, the conflict and blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay." From that, like the performing parts and the practicing parts and all of those things are so unrealistic. Like it's hard,
mm,
but I feel like it's like a doctor, like Anthony Volpe's dad is a doctor. Both his parents are doctors. And, it's like him watching Grey's Anatomy. And there's so many
yeah,
things that are not accurate and wrong. You know what I mean? Like it's hard to watch. And that was what Whiplash was for me. Like I've never, I couldn't imagine myself, and maybe it's the person I am, to be in a school where a professor treated people that way. And like, you know what I mean? Or just, you know, of course, I've been playing till, like, you get blisters or stuff, but the blood or it was like everything to the extreme times a million. So, at the
yeah.
time, I didn't like it, and it's so funny because I have video of this when my kids were little. They were younger, we watched the film, and, my younger boy is cracking up, like, he's looking at it like it's a comedy, like, he's dying
Yeah.
laughing, like, he's
Yeah.
like, "What?" Like, because he knows it's like, "That's not how it works."